States. Connell?
Jillian, thanks. Jillian Turner there. And for more on this Trump-Kim sit-down, or potential sit-down still at this point, let's bring Saagar Enjeti back, the White House correspondent for the Daily Caller, who's been kind enough to give us a lot of time tonight from Washington. I guess we start there, Saagar, with that point about, is there anything that's happened this weekend that makes this summit less likely from everything you're hearing? Is it going to happen?
Yeah, actually, from what I'm hearing, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders had made it seem like it wasn't going to be happening because she talked about the need for concrete steps towards denuclearization. But we immediately almost saw that walked back later by the White House and by CIA Director Mike Pompeo. And as you said at the top of the hour, the top here, which is that the main two requirements that the U.S. seems to be abiding by is we need to see an end to the nuclear tests, and we need to see some willingness to talk here. But there is no other condition that we have seen. No release of hostages, no guarantee or lack of criticism on the military exercises that are happening here. So it is very interesting. From what we are seeing from the president's mouth at that rally and from the CIA director today, the summit is looking all the more likely. Yeah,
talking about no concessions, but to your point, also no additional conditions, which probably does, you're right, make it more likely. What about the time frame from this? The South Korea National Security Advisor, and it came out of the White House the other night, said by May.
Yeah, so the South Korean ambassador did tell us by May. However, Sarah Sanders was very quick not to pin herself down to a May deadline. The type of planning that goes into this is just immense. I'm sure that there are people in the State Department who are going to be working 24 hours a day, first trying to decide where they're going to hold this summit. Is it going to be in the DMZ? Is it going to be in Tokyo? Is it going to be in China? And, I found Director Pompeo's, observation there that it's only going to be Kim Jong-un and the United States very, very interesting. I mean, we're not including two of the countries here which would be most affected if there was an outbreak of conflict. So in terms of a timeline, we have absolutely no idea, but the president is eager to talk. That is something that is most clear from his tweets, from his speech.
Oh, yeah. I noticed when you went through all your locations, you didn't mention the White House, which I don't think has officially been ruled out. But could you ever imagine Kim Jong-un, who at this point and these times, I don't know if we rule anything out, right? But you ever imagine Kim Jong-un at the White House?
That would be, I would love that because I guess I would meet the dictator of North Korea. But that would be truly a shocking experience. And the president, I don't think, is going to do that because he has already come under some criticism from human rights advocates that he is elevating Kim Jong-un by even meeting with him. So I expect this summit to probably take place abroad. But, with this administration, we don't know.
Who knows? We didn't know anything about it until the president peeked his head into the briefing room the other night, right? So,
that's right.
Let me shift gears now to this trip to California. It's getting a lot of attention. It's the first one the president has taken since he took office. He'll look at prototypes for his long-promised border wall. It's coming after he once again vowed to fulfill his campaign promise to have Mexico pay to build it, saying this last night.
We are building the wall 100%. 100%. 100%.
All right, 100%. Boy, we've heard that plenty of times during the campaign. Where do things actually stand, as far as you know, with the wall?
Sure. So, as far as we know, the most concrete thing that's happening with the wall is the president's visit to California on Tuesday. The president initially thought that he could be able to get funding for this wall in a DACA deal, where he said, we will give a pathway to citizenship for $1.8 million. In exchange, we need $20 billion to build this wall. But, in terms of where things stand now, given the Supreme Court decision on DACA, we're not going to see anything in that arena probably for the next year.
The other thing from the president, a big push, that certainly in California in particular, on immigration. One other quick clip from President Trump as we flash back to last month, talking about the threat to pull federal agents out of the state. Listen to this.
Frankly, if I wanted to pull our people from California, you would have a crime nest like you've never seen in California. You would see crime like nobody's ever seen crime in this country.
Since then, Saagar, we have this Department of Justice lawsuit against the state of California. I'm sure that'll be a big topic as well when he's there, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you have Governor Brown coming out and essentially calling this an act of war against the state of California, the lowest point of relations between California and the federal government here, given the fact that, the Attorney General has filed suit against them for being a sanctuary state. It's interesting that the president said that because the ICE director, as I understand it, said in response to this sanctuary city legislation that they are actually going to be flooding the state of California with federal agents, that they're only going to increase their enforcement efforts, and that they will increase the number of detention operations that we have seen. But, I'm sure there's going to be some very harsh words from the president while he's in California towards the Oakland mayor, who, as I'm sure we've covered here, has, warned illegal immigrants and illegal criminals that the ICE was coming for a detention operation, and hundreds of them were actually not able to be apprehended.
No, I know. It's another week, another less than boring week, let's put it that way, ahead of us. Saagar Enjeti, good to see you tonight.